Hi guys, welcome back to Nerd Mania. If you're new here, I'm Stuart. If you're into all things nerdy, toys, video, movies, films, anything, please think about liking and subscribing. Helps the channel, helps me be motivated to make these videos for you. Today's video, I'm here because we have just finished season 3 of The Mandalorian, and I want to share with you the 10 characters from this series that I would like to see made into action figures in Hasbro's Black Series. As far as the series goes, it's been indifferent. It's had some really nice highs and some really low lows. It's had some really divisive episodes. For me, it was probably the weakest of the 3 Mandalorian series so far, but I still really enjoyed it. Looking forward to where they go from here. But it had some really interesting characters and some characters I think would make some awesome figures. So before I get going, like I say, if you're new here, please like, subscribe. All helps the channel, helps me make the videos. Motivates me to make the videos for you guys. Also, I'm going to drop a link below to the Facebook group, The Nerd Bar. This is the official Facebook group for Cincy Nerd. I'm an admin there. We're trying to build a community there of like-minded people who love anything to do with geeky nerd culture, collecting in general. If you collect figures, movies, comic books, sports cards, anything, we share it all there. Please think about joining the Facebook group, The Nerd Bar. But let's get started with the 10 figures I would like to see from Series 3 of The Mandalorian. At number 10 is a bit of an easy one, really. I feel with any show, when you're doing a new series or even a new movie, you want to have the main protagonist in the line. So we're going to start with number 10, Din Djarin. We've obviously had a ton of Mandalorian figures in the Black Series already. The one I would like to see from the new series is from the final episode where he's fighting the Praetorian Guards and the BESKAR Mandalorians. The BESKAR sort of stormtroopers. And it's him with the white jetpack on his back, and then he's got the electric baton and the shield. I just think that would make a really striking figure, the combinations of the silver and white. I think that would look really good on the shelf. And it also gives people who have maybe missed out on Mandalorian figures before an option to get one. I know there's tons out there. You've got the one caked in mud with the egg. You've got the snow one with the hints of white, and then you've obviously got the original ones as well with the makeshift armor, and then in the all Beskar, and then the one with the helmet. There's tons, but this one I think would stand out on the shelf a bit more. So he's my number 10, a simple one, but something I feel that you need in the line. You need the main protagonist to keep new people interested, and I think that one would make an excellent figure. So that's my number 10. Number 9 is something we've had in the Black Series before, but this is a new updated design, and that's the Praetorian Guards that you see in the final sort of couple of episodes of the series. They have sort of a new look face mask. I think they actually look better than the ones we got in the prequel movies. I think these would make excellent characters. You could have them in, if you have like scenes playing out with your figures, you could have them fighting either Paz Vizsla or Din Djarin or even Grogu. It would look really good on the shelf, and they're striking in that all red armor. So yeah, number 9 on my list would be the Praetorian Guards. Number 8, it's a bit of a weird one actually, and it probably comes from the episode that split the fans the most in this series. It's the episode that obviously had Jack Black and Lizzo in it. It's Christopher Lloyd's character, HELLGATE. I just think that the Imperial sympathizer, the guy who grew up during the Empire and still wants the Empire to be ruling the galaxy, and who doesn't want a Christopher Lloyd figure? I think he would make a really good figure on the shelf. And if they can get the likeness right, I think he would be an excellent figure. So yeah, there's not much more I can say. He only had a very small part, but it's just a figure I think would be really cool. And that's HELLGATE from the series, the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo. who are not on my list, by the way. Spoiler alert. Number 7. This guy would have been higher. A character with a lot of history in Star Wars at this point. And he would have been higher, but he only had a very small part in this series. But I just think it would be an excellent time to make this figure. And it's the live action version of Zeb from Rebels. You see him in the New Republic bar. And it was probably one of the highlights of the series for me when seeing him. And then shortly after this, we had Star Wars Celebration. You saw the Ahsoka trailer, which looks phenomenal, and you get to see obviously Sabine, Hera, Chopper, and you get a little version of a holographic Ezra, and seeing them all coming into live action, just really exciting. And then we get to see Zeb in this one in his sort of X-Wing fighter pilot fatigues. I just think he would make an excellent figure. Good time to get him into the line. So yeah, number 7 on my list is Zeb. Zeb Aurelios. So yeah, that's another great figure there. Number 6, and again, it might be a bit low, but we do get a lot of troopers in the Star Wars line. And number 6 on my list would be the Beskar sort of stormtroopers, Moff Gideon's troopers, the white guys with the jetpacks and the Beskar armor. Just think they would make an excellent trooper. Everyone loves a trooper. Everyone likes to build up their troops. And this would be an excellent one. I think in most Star Wars properties now, they throw in a trooper variant because they know they'll sell. And this is no different. I think these would make really good figures to look. They look a little bit like the Scout Troopers from Rogue One, but still, I think they're different enough that you would they'd make a nice addition to your shelf. So yeah, number 6 is the Beskar Trooper, and we're now getting into the top 5. And with number 5, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Obviously, in this series, there is tons of Mandalorians, absolutely hundreds of them. And I would love them to make every single armor variant that there was. All the ones from Din Djarin and the Armorer's Covenant, all the ones from Axe Woves and Cosca Reeves and that sort of mercenary group, Bo-Katan's mercenary group. Any of those guys would be excellent. And literally just before this video, I decided I was going to make this video, or just as I was putting the list together, R5D4 was on my list. And literally just before the final, I thought I'd wait until the final episode today in case there was any new characters. They threw up that they're making R5D4 and they're making the Mandalorian captain, which is the guy who pilots the main ship. But literally any of the Mandalorians, but particularly the one that I would really like is the Survivor Captain. He's the actor who played Warlock in Top Gun Maverick. Hopefully I've got a picture here of what he looks like, but any of those Mandalorians. So number 5 is a bit of a cheat because it's any of the other Mandalorians from the show, but particularly I would like some of the survivors on Mandalore. I think they would be excellent in the line, especially if they had their removable helmets and the head sculpt. So yeah, my number 5 is a bit of a cheat. The Mandalorians from The Mandalorian, basically. Number 4 on my list is a random one, and again, very small amount of screen time. And again, it's from the episode with Jack Black and Lizzo. In this episode, they go to a droid bar looking for some information, and there's a striking bright blue with yellow eyes protocol droid, C-3PO droid. It just looks excellent. I think it would look striking on the shelf next to all the other droids. And I read somewhere, I did look for the source before I started making this and I couldn't find it, but I believe it has a special background. I believe there was a member of one of the Star Wars droid making communities who had designed this droid and then unfortunately passed away. So they used a design in this episode, and I just think it's excellent. I just think it would look really striking on the shelf. Again, I don't have a lot of information. I couldn't tell you the designation, his number designation. It's possibly out there, but I don't know it. But I just think particularly this protocol droid will look excellent on your shelves. So that's my number 4, and we're now getting into the top 3. 1 and 2, I think, are probably... sorry, I keep looking down at my list. 1 and 2, I think, are probably the ones that a lot of people from this series are going to want. But number 3 for me is Captain CARSON TEVA. He's the New Republic X-Wing pilot. We saw him in, I think it was season 1 or season 2 of The Mandalorian, or possibly both. And we saw him in the Book of Boba Fett. And I just think this character would be excellent. We've already had Trapper Wolf. We've already had Dave Filoni's character. And I think we need Carson TEVA now as well. I think he would just give us that another pilot to the ranks. And he's beginning to become a major player. I think we might see him more. I know they were planning on making a New Republic TV show, which I think has now been scrapped after the controversies with the Cara Dune actress. But again, another character, another unique character for the shelf, someone we haven't had before. I think that would make a excellent figure, Carson TEVA. Okay, we now get into the top 2, and my number 2 is going to be IG-12. Yes, IG-11 with the Krang-esque Baby Yoda Grogu in the chest. I'm not sure how they'd do that. I'm not sure how they'd scale it to work, because obviously we've had an IG-11 and we've had Grogu figures before. And Grogu, I'm not sure. You'd have to have... Grogu, I think, would have to be sculpted into the chest rather than be removable. But he's such a fun character during the series. And I just feel like it's a figure that a lot of people would want. I think it would sell well. But I'm not sure. Like I say, I think it would take some work. You'd have to get the scaling right. But yeah, IG-12. Little Grogu in the chest of IG-11. I think would work. You could even argue maybe an IG... I didn't put IG-11 on the list, but obviously you see him briefly at the end of the series with a new paint job. But yeah, IG-12, Baby Grogu in the chest. That would be my number 2 pick for figures from this series. And number 1, probably no surprise to most people, would be Moff Gideon in his Beskar armour. Kind of has the Darth Maul sort of style armor crossed with sort of the black and red of sort of obviously that you get with most Sith Lords like Vader, Maul, Kylo Ren, but just looked really striking in that shining black and red armor. Really fantastic looking figure. Obviously you could have him facing off with either Bo-Katan or Din Djarin or both. Just a striking looking figure. I think Moff Gideon probably could have done with a bit more screen time in this series, been built up a bit more, but still comes across as one of the best villains. And the striking Beskar, black and red Beskar armour really stood out for me and would be my absolute first choice for a figure to be made from Series 3 of The Mandalorian. So that's my top 10 figures I'd like to see made from Series 3 of The Mandalorian. If you have anything different, or you'd put them in different order, you'd like to see, please drop them in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you'd like to see in the Black Series from The Mandalorian. And where do you think The Mandalorian's going to go from here? I kind of feel like with that final episode where he's kind of now working as a bounty hunter for the New Republic, it might go back to more of what the first season was, sort of episodic, helping different people. That would be quite cool, I think. And obviously Star Wars Celebration, they've announced a movie which I think is going to tie together what they call the Mandoverse, which is, I assume, will be Ahsoka, the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian. So it's an interesting time if you're a fan of the Mandalorian. I kind of feel a little bit sad that they've already put into place something to tie it all together and tie it up. I feel like possibly there's still legs left in this. There's still places they could go. Yeah, that's how I feel about this. And a figure that I just want to touch base very quickly on, a figure that I was going to put on this list and he just fell off, and that's Kellan Beck, the Jedi that was played by Ahmed Best, the guy who played Jar Jar Binks. He was my number 11 on this list. He was so close to being there, and I did think about moving him up. bumping off maybe the Mandalorian or the Praetorian, but he was another really fun character, and I would not be averse to seeing him in the line either. But yeah, that's my top 10 figures from the Mandalorian. Like I say, if you're new here, please drop a like, drop a subscribe, find the Nerd Bar on Facebook, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.